Her last name's Christensen, and she's one of the partners of the law office that represented the media. Although their testimony wasn't allowed.
We represent the media newspapers. So we are not affiliated with the state or with the defendant, but with you all. Okay.
Excuse me, I just have a question. Why did they not allow, is it okay on video? Why is it that they didn't allow the media to represent, for you to represent the media?
Well, so we did file a pre-hearing brief, and it's on the docket. It should be publicly accessible.
Okay. Will she take that into consideration?
She should.
Okay.
There is a requirement under the public access statute that the public be permitted to participate and testify, but the judge made a statement that she'd be deciding this under the court rules, which don't give us a right to testify.
Well, my question about that is because, the victim's family was able to present a petition that was signed by 40,000 people. Okay, so but there are also people that may want this released as well. So for them to have that, but not for members of the media, which I think that you represent us all watching, how is that fair?
Well, so the media does represent the public. The media is the surrogate of the public to oversee the government. It's not fair. I would imagine that the court should find that the petition from the victims and from the 40,000 signatures is irrelevant to the APRA factors. Certainly, the victims' privacy and the sanctity of what has happened to them is it's important, but it's also very important to make sure that the state is following proper procedures to get the right person and to bring justice.
Right, and I think it goes without saying nobody wants to compromise the integrity of the investigation or open people up for harm that are in the affidavit, but they can redact some of those names and still give public
Precisely, yes,
still give us access.
because even the prosecutor suggested redaction as a potential alternative.
Yeah, because I think he knows that none of us. I don't have a feeling about it one way or the other. I want what's best for the case, but I think public actually has the right to know these things. I've been on this thing for almost 6 years, like a lot of other people, and we've helped and we've done a lot of things, and now, just like that attorney said, they've asked for our help for almost 6 years, and now they're saying, oh, okay, now everything's hush-hush, and that's part of the whole media, the frenzy on social media. So,
one of the comments that the prosecutor made is that the media is just after sound bites, and that the media has been haranguing potential witnesses. But a big pushback to that from the media point of view is that the media wouldn't need to be after small snippets if the media had access to full information.
Yeah.
A private investigation has brought that circumstance about.
So, secretiveness.
For those that could not be in the courtroom today, can you kind of just give us a synopsis of kind of what happened up there?
Sure. So the trial judge indicated that she would proceed under Access to Court Records Rule 6, which governs access to court filings. She indicated that she would not follow APRA, which means that the documents wouldn't be sealed. They would simply be excluded from public access. That's the trigger to not allow the public to testify. The prosecutor suggested and argued that the charging records should be maintained confidentially to protect the victims and their family, and to protect the ongoing investigation. The defense argued that the records should be public because in 6 years of a confidential investigation, the public has been very helpful and the public has a right to know, and that if justice is to be served, you need a legitimate criminal process that is open to public oversight.
Can I ask you one really quick question? As far as, the prosecutor sort of, I feel like, chastised us a little bit and said, how dare you guys go knock on doors? And, what did you think of his tone towards the media?
The idea that the media is simply after sound bites is an issue that's really beget by the privacy of the investigation in the first place. So if the media had access to full information, the media wouldn't need to go knock on as many doors and try to find crumbs and nuggets of information.
Do you find it seems almost, it's a media blame game, it looks like. Would you say so? On his part? It seems like I was really struck by his tone in there.
I believe the prosecutor's trying to do his job, and he and his office believe that the best way to achieve an orderly trial and proceeding is to minimize media scrutiny. And unfortunately for his position, fortunately for the people of Indiana, the public policy in Indiana is that the people, through the media as their surrogate, have the right to understand what's happening in a criminal trial so that the proceedings can be legitimate.
Thank you. So just want to say that.
And did you say that were the family able to speak today about why they felt that the document should remain closed?
The family did not speak, but the prosecutor did submit a petition that my understanding was started by the family members and signed by 40,000 people. Is that right?
Yeah, and they put it out on YouTube, and we're telling people to go to a site and sign this petition. People didn't even know what was in it; they just did it because,
And did you say that the prosecutor had alluded to the fact that he may request that all court hearings, proceedings, the trial all be behind closed doors?
So he didn't make that request, but the concern he voiced was that if the witnesses' names are not maintained confidentially, that the witnesses would be harangued by the media, and that maybe there could be safety implications for the witnesses or for members of the court staff. And that means, if that's true for the charging records, then that's true for any future hearing, that's true for any trial. And it would be shocking to have the entire trial happen behind closed doors. I don't think there's any precedent for that in Indiana.
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.